I really like tragedies, and I like kind of the long slide of a character, but sometimes a bit of upswing. So Raskolnikov from Crime and Punishment, you know, watching his long slide downward and then his bit of up at the end.
And what's fun in writing is to let people just go crazy, basically, to let them say stuff to each other, to let things go wrong in a conversation in a way that would be kind of horrifying in real life. I think that fiction is a paranoid world in which everything is meaningful and cohesive, everything is very close, and the characters are put under a lot of pressure and they break. When they're put under pressure, they break, and when they break, they're revealed. We find out who they are, and we find out who we are.
I feel like it's mostly the unconscious that has been thinking about something or working on something, chewing on it for a long time, that it just makes a kind of act of transformation of the material from my real life into something else. And that's an amazing thing to witness. Like, I love that. That's really why I sit down every day. And it happens mostly in description of landscape, that the landscape shifts in some way and is crazy and changes, transforms.
And my faith is that the landscape is a kind of blank slate that the unconscious will fill. And if I keep describing it, it will do crazy transformations that will show the inside life of the characters. So an example is late in the book, Irene is running through the forest, and she feels like the earth is tilting underneath her feet, and that the island is top-heavy with all the rocks and trees, and that the whole island will turn over, and the underside will be exposed to the sky. And that's a kind of transformation in the landscape that happens in the writing and shows the inside life of the character. I was trying to understand some things, but
I was just in Norway, actually in Oslo, and they have a free museum right downtown that my wife and I walked into, and they had The Scream by Munch. I always said Munch before, but apparently they say Munch in Norway, and he's Norwegian. And in The Scream, what's great about it is you've got the railing and the couple where everything's kind of ordered and fine and calm, everything's good. But then you've got this character that warps out with the landscape. He's in with the landscape on the land and then in the sky, this crazy transformation and warping. And that's what I like most in fiction, is that kind of warp or transformation of landscape to show the inside lives of the characters. So to me, that's a painting that actually shows what happens in fiction, what I like most in fiction. And so I've always kind of liked it for that reason. And I suspected that was possible, but I didn't know it wasn't. Yeah, because we didn't have a... I write every morning, 2 or 3 hours, and I love it. And what I love about it is that there are always surprises, and it's mostly an unconscious process.
Each day I don't know what the characters will do or say, and to me the excitement is in not knowing and in discovering and having surprises. And that was something I first discovered in writing Sukkwan Island. Because I thought it was going somewhere different, and halfway through there's a big surprise that changes everything, and it was a shock to me. I'd written the pages, but I didn't know what the pages were about. The big difference between Sukkwan Island and Désolations is that Sukkwan Island was a father and son, and this book focuses on a marriage, and everyone in the book is thinking about marriage. So I was surprised to find that there would be other points of view. It turns out there are 7 points of view. It just happened in the writing. Like the next chapter, I'd realize I need this person's point of view now. And it was nice for me to have a bigger book than Sukkwan Island that opened out more, with more characters. I never imagined writing a book from a 55-year-old woman's point of view. Like, it's not like I had a plan to do that. But it was very easy. I realized 6 months after I wrote the book that I was Irene in many ways.
So those are the moments that I look for in it. And then as long as I write each day, then I feel good. Then I feel fine for the rest of the day. And if I don't write, then I feel like a bum. I feel like my life is nothing.
To make it seem he gave it a try. That's not true, Mom. We all have rules, Rhoda, and your father's main rule is that he can never seem like the bad guy. He loves you.
I think that would be loyalty or fidelity. Even in publishing, my hope in each country is to stay with the same publisher and never move publishers. But I like that. I like when you can count on and rely on someone and know that you have an ongoing relationship and that feels solid. So I think that would be the top virtue. Don't trust mottos. Yeah, yeah, mottos suck. Mottos are like the oversimplification of experience, which is a kind of crime, really. You know, that's what bad fiction is about, oversimplifying who people are and what their experience is. So yeah, don't trust mottos.
This summer, a couple of weeks in June, a couple of weeks here in September, then did you or other trips like November last year?
I guess it'd be nice to be one of those authors who gets their book published at 30. Like I finished Sukkwan Island when I was 29. It would have been nice to get published then. And so I do envy a bit the writers I see who get published at 30. You know, for me, I finally got published when I was 42 for that book. But you never know, that maybe they have other problems. Maybe if you get published at 30, it's much harder to write your second book. You have a lot of pressure. Whereas for me, I had no pressure. There was no sign that the world wanted my books at all, so I was free to write whatever I wanted. I don't really think of characters needing to be likable in fiction. You know, they just have to be interesting and have to care about what's going on. Yeah, but I don't have to actually like them. And it's actually a question that always drives me crazy in the US when people worry about whether a character is likable. I mean, I honestly don't give a shit. And I think it's a stupid topic in the US when it's constantly in reviews. In our reviews, reviewers will talk about whether a character is likable. You know, who cares? So I think it's everyone who gets obsessed on that has missed the boat, basically, and doesn't understand what books are actually about.
I think that the book is mostly about momentum, the momentum of a life, that your life becomes something other than what you planned for it, and something other than what you wanted, and you become something other than who you thought you were. My own life has been so random and darted around so much that I can't really believe in it, finally.
I'll try to relax.
My life is really good now. My wife's here, happily married, 10 years. And we're traveling around France. I mean, what could be better? And really the last 2 years have been the best years of my life, like by far. It's been amazing. And I owe it mostly to Oliver. And to France. I mean, it really, like, France changed my life with the reception of the books here. And it made the U.S. pay more attention for the next book, and the media's been generous. The booksellers have been telling people about the books. Oliver was very careful on the translation and only publishes one book a month, like a lot of Focus. So it's been a fantastic gift, so thank you.
On a commencé avec une tragédie, puis on arrive, on a parlé de l'enfer, on finit au paradis. Merci à tous.